You know, last year I reported on the plight of a UK doctor who lost his job in the state-run system because he wouldn't comply with government commands that he use pronouns patients preferred to describe their so-called gender identity rather than pronouns that actually describe their scientific biological gender. Well, he appealed the firing, and now, over a year later, the UK so-called justice system has ruled. And while you know the ruling is probably bizarre and infuriating, it is very instructive. Hi everyone, I'm Gardner Goldsmith for MRCTV, and let's talk about Dr. David Mackareth, who back in July of last year lost his job because as a scientist and a Christian, he insisted on using pronouns and descriptors that actually fit patient biology and reality rather than SJW fantasy.
As a Christian doctor, I believe it makes me a better doctor to be a Christian and a doctor, and I need freedom of conscience in order to practice medicine. In essence, I'm now being compelled to say things which I cannot say.
As Eliza Melendez notes for themetro.co.uk, Dr. David Maccareth, 56, told his manager he would not call any 6-foot-tall bearded man madam because it went against his religious beliefs. The doctor from Dudley, West Midlands, alleged the Department of Work and Pensions, DWP, discriminated against his religious beliefs, costing him his job as a disability claim assessor. Now, the doctor also argued in the suit that the National Health Service, or NHS, the UK's socialistic medical system, would not only not accommodate his religious beliefs, he also argued that any patient who was dissatisfied could actually see another doctor at any time. Well, now, after a wait similar to what many experience in the socialistic government-run healthcare system, the UK justice system has ruled. And you guessed it, they ruled against him, saying this. A tribunal panel rejected his claims and unanimously concluded that the doctor not only had a lack of belief in transgenderism, but his objection to it was incompatible with human dignity. Leave it to the government, a doctor whose success depends on understanding biological reality, a man whose professional precision requires in absolutely stark terms that all practitioners know if a patient is biologically male or female, purged from his job because he adheres to reality.
Just we've lost our freedom of speech. That's bad enough. But now we are absolutely compelled, because of this need to have a belief in transgenderism, because of this lack of belief in the Bible's reference to human dignity, we are compelled now to use language in a way which has been prescribed for us by other parties with whom we disagree.
And all this while the cult-like, fiction-embracing court tribunal has the pernicious gall to stake a claim on so-called human dignity. It's almost too crazy to imagine. Almost. And as he waited for the ruling, Dr. Mackereth noted these things.
It's quite simply dishonest to use pronouns in that way. There's no other way of saying it. And as a Christian, it really matters whether we use language in an honest or a dishonest way. As a Christian in good conscience, I cannot do that because, quite simply, quite frankly, it's a lie.
Spot on. And as a doctor, Mackereth has it right also.
There's the integrity of the medical profession, that what we're being asked to do now is so contrary to sound reason. I really do believe that a profession such as the medical profession, which depends upon its intellectual integrity, its academic rigor, cannot maintain that once it starts to embrace arguments which are contrary to reason.
But collectivism isn't based on individual reason. It is entirely founded on the state overcoming individual reason and choice. It is the political herd trampling the individual, cultish belief stifling the truth.
We're being told to live and practice a lie. It is a lie. I think, Andrew Williams, the head of Christian Concern here, has pointed out again and again, we are not helping people when we practice a lie. We cannot ever help people by practicing a lie.
An important lesson here is that just as collectivism destroys choice and freedom in the market, seeing fewer options and only those allowed by the collective, so it goes with collectivist medicine and even collectivist speech and thought. In 1947, the same year the UK started its socialist NHS, George Orwell penned 1984, his classic dystopian novel where a man is tortured by the state for clinging to individuality and insisting that truth is truth, that 2 + 2 = 4, not 5, as the state commanded him to say. Well, one wonders whether or not George Orwell could have foreseen what the government-run healthcare system that started that year would end up doing, insisting that lies were truth, that men were women, and women were men. It's happening now in Britain, and it's time people wake up and spread the word. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Hats off to Dr. Mackereth over in the UK. And don't forget to like and subscribe and to share on social media. It takes us to spread the word. For MRCTV, I'm Gardner Goldsmith.